Today, I'm back with another Mega Movie News Roundup segment for you all. This is going to be episode 2, and on this segment, we cover all the major movie news that come out this week. So I have about 10 topics here to go through with you all. We're going to be talking Marvel DC properties. We're going to be talking a possible new God of War movie, and then our most important topic saved to the very end, Mortal Kombat 2. So we'll be talking about all those topics right here on this channel. So stick around through the entire video to see all those major news stories. But without further ado, let's get started. Now to get into our first topic, and we're going to be talking about the Batman. You all know that the Batman is my second most anticipated film of the year, right behind The Flash. So I'm always excited to talk some Batman news. So it came out that there was actually a 4-hour test screening of the Batman that a audience actually got to watch. Now, I don't think that they ever planned on releasing that 4-hour movie to the audience in general, just because 4 hours is just way too long for a superhero movie like this, especially a first installment movie into this new franchise of Batman movies. I just don't think that's going to work with most audiences. I mean, the movie's already now at 2 hours and 55 minutes. It's about 3 hours right there. To me, that's already a super long movie for this Batman origin story. 4 hours would have been overkill, and I just think they would lose out on tons of money because there's a lot of people that would not go to the theater to see a 4-hour movie. They just won't do it. Now, they may wait till it comes on streaming and watch a 4-hour movie like people did with Snyder's Justice League cut, but to actually go to a theater these days for a 4-hour movie, a lot of people just don't have the time or patience for that. So I'm glad they cut down the movie to at least about 3 hours. So I think it's going to work out for the best, but we'll have to see when we see the movie if that was the right runtime to go with. Also, there has been a new poster released for the Batman movie. And to me, the poster looks okay. It doesn't look anything special. At points in the poster, it does kind of look fan-made. Now, I think overall it is decent. It gives us a sense of the movie. I like all the Riddler stuff on there with the question mark. I think that's all really interesting. But other than that, this poster does nothing new to increase my excitement. I'm already at a high level of excitement for this movie, but this poster just doesn't do anything new for me. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this new poster, and what do you think of a potential runtime of a 4-hour release if they actually release that one instead of going with the 3-hour one? What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Now to get into our second topic, and this is we got a new Pinocchio movie. We got a little teaser for it, and this movie is coming from Guillermo del Toro. Yes, the director that did The Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth, Nightmare Alley is now coming out with a new Pinocchio movie, and that's why I'm so hyped for it. I think Guillermo del Toro is a very artistic director, and he can tell a really good story, especially one with fantastical elements. And that's what I got out of this teaser. It's just voice though, his voice is very soothing. So I think he still works as like a friendly cricket, and he's going to be a good character to go along with Pinocchio here. And I would actually believe that this would be a cricket living inside a wooden puppet. So to me, that all makes sense. And I just think this teaser gives us a good flavor of what the movie is going to be like. So I can't wait to see more from this movie. This movie is actually one I am now newly hyped for, just based on Guillermo del Toro alone. And then continuing on with some Guillermo del Toro news, it did come out that Ron Perlman is still pushing for a Hellboy 3. And I know a lot of people like the first two Hellboy movies. Now, I haven't seen them both all the way through for such a quite a long time. But I know a lot of people really love those movies. And you got Ron Perlman saying, we gotta make this movie for the fans. The fans really want it. Now, do I think Hellboy 3 is gonna ever happen? Absolutely not. It's been way too long of a time, and Guillermo del Toro before has said that if he was going to do it, he would need a really big budget for it, and no studio is going to give him that amount of money to do a Hellboy 3 properly to his vision. So that is news that's come out many, many years ago. So there is absolutely not going to be a Hellboy 3 movie, in my opinion. Of course, anything's possible, but I think that that's really just not going to ever happen. Very unlikely chance, anyway. Now, to get into our third topic, so we have the VFX supervisor that worked on Eternals is now working on the new Blade movie, and he is saying that Kit Harington, that's supposed to be the Black Knight, is going to be in the Blade movie. Now, to me, that makes perfect sense. Spoiler warning here, spoiler warning. If you haven't seen Eternals yet, just mentioning the after credit scene here, you have Black Knight there, and then you hear Blade's voice. So to me, it makes sense for them to be in the same movie together, but just to kind of clarify, there might have been some people that didn't really understand that ending credit scene in Eternals, but yes, both those characters, Blade, Black Knight, together in the same movie. Now, I don't know if they're both going to be working together in this story, or are they going to be enemies at points? I don't really know what's going to go on with this Blade story, but I'm definitely excited for it because you got really good talent with Mahershala Ali, and you have Kit Harington, and so that's going to bring a lot to the screen. So very excited for Blade. Now to get into the fourth topic. So apparently there's a Universal lawsuit right now that's about how they have marketed the Yesterday movie with missing Ana de Armas in the actual movie, but she's all over the trailers and they really highlight her scene in the trailers. But in the movie, it is nowhere to be found. So remember that Yesterday movie was about how people forgot that the Beatles existed. So nobody knew the Beatles music except for one person. He starts playing the Beatles music, becomes super famous, and it was actually a pretty good movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, I do recommend checking that one out. But yeah, the complaint here is that Ana de Armas, who is a major superstar, is featured heavily in the trailers of the movie, but does not appear in the movie. That scene was cut out of the movie. But still to this day, they're using it to sell rentals of the movie by still advertising that trailer showing Ana de Armas. Now, that's what the lawsuit is saying, that these people are upset, so they have been wronged by this false advertisement. And it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes, how the ruling is done on it, how it's settled, if anything. Because if they say, well, yeah, you can't do that, that if you're showing something in the trailer, it has to be in the movie, well, it could lead to just a different change in how they end up marketing the movies. We can expect more that, hey, what we actually see in the trailer will show up in the movies instead of being disappointed when we go into the movie seeing that certain scenes and actors and actresses that have been cut out of the movie. So that could be a benefit to consumers, but then it's also going to be kind of a drawback because then companies are going to be really needing to make sure, hey, if we put this together, we got to make sure that we are incorporating it into the movie. And if all these trailers have already been developed and we don't want to, go against that trailer now and we have to keep the scene in the movie, is that going to bring down the quality of the movie in the long run, right? Because often trailers are made so far in advance before the movie's released. Are we going to get now trailers like right before the movie comes out instead of way in advance to really hype us up? So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the ruling here and to see what companies do going forward on this. So that's why it's an interesting topic. Now, our fifth topic here is going to be a potential new God of War movie. Yes. Now, what the news story here is that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is saying he's going to be in a new video game movie. Now, it doesn't say specifically what this video game movie is going to be, but I'm heavily speculating right now. Once again, this is not confirmed. This is all just my thoughts of what would make sense. Is it's going to be a God of War movie. Now, hear me out here. I think The Rock would fit Kratos perfectly for a God of War movie, and that would just be so entertaining. And it's such a hardcore type of story, and The Rock can do a great job being very brutal in a movie like this. Also, the God of War series is already very cinematic in its nature, and there's a lot of great stories to be told there. So to me, it's the right timing for this movie to happen. Also, you already have Uncharted coming out which is a PlayStation movie. And PlayStation Productions is already starting to ramp up on different projects. So I think their next major project here can be a God of War movie. It would make sense. You do Uncharted, and then you come out with another heavy hitter of a movie, being one that's very popular, that's an ongoing franchise. You go with God of War, and you got The Rock playing the main character, Kratos. That's just a very strong character, and I think that would work perfectly for a God of War story. So let me know in the comments below. Do you think they're actually going to do a God of War movie and that Dwayne The Rock Johnson will be the main actor? Now, he could be doing any movie. It could be like a Grand Theft Auto movie, it could be a Call of Duty movie, but I'm thinking it's God of War because all of the PlayStation production stuff, to me, that would make sense. And to me, he would really fit that Kratos character. So do you agree with that in the comments below? Do you think they're going with that God of War movie and that The Rock will play Kratos? Or do you think it's a whole different other franchise, a different video game that they're going to be focused on? And what video game would you like to see The Rock be portraying in a live action movie? Let's have those fun movie discussions down below. Now we get into our sixth topic, continuing on with some PlayStation movie talk. Once again, we already know Uncharted is coming out here soon, and I know we're really hyped for it, but we just saw a final trailer released for the Uncharted movie, and now it even shows that there's pirate ships in the movie that are being taken up with like a helicopter plane, and so you have them battling in these action set pieces on flying pirate ships. Yeah, I never thought I would say that in a movie like this, but yeah, so they're having flying pirate ships in a certain way, and to me that's just very interesting. To me, that seems like this story is definitely going to go a little bit more fantastical with its action set pieces, where it's going to feel a little bit more like a Pirates of the Caribbean movie rather than more of like a Indiana Jones movie, which, you know, holds it back a little bit. It's a little bit more realistic. I think this movie is going to go more heavy fantasy and really just be bonkers fun all over the place. I mean, just grand scope action adventure pieces that we haven't seen before. So I think Uncharted can deliver a lot of fun at the movies. I just hope it doesn't take it too silly. I hope it's still grounded in some way and that there's still believable characters in a story like this. So let me know in the comments below. Are you hyped up for this Uncharted movie? Are you excited to see it? What do you think of that final trailer that just got released? Are you going to give this movie a chance when it is released in cinemas? Now to get into our seventh topic. So apparently Jason Momoa is in talks to be in the next Fast and Furious movie. Yes, Fast and Furious 10 gonna have the Aquaman actor. Now I think Momoa is a good choice for a movie like this, especially if he plays a villain. He can play a really good villain as well as a hero. So that would be interesting to see him in this movie. And Fast and Furious is always looking for the biggest, baddest characters, and I think Momoa would fit that role. Especially if you can't bring The Rock back, because we've known it, all that drama between Vin Diesel and The Rock. That's why The Rock wasn't in the last movie. If you can't get The Rock back, right, if John Cena may not be back, right, because now he's doing all his Peacemaker stuff, well, Momoa is not a bad third option here, and he would be kind of fun to see in a bonkers movie like this. So hopefully Fast and Furious 10 is done really well. Hopefully they ground it a little bit more, bring it back to earth a little bit, because I was a little disappointed with Fast 9 just because it was way too over the top and became too comical. Maybe if they can pull it back a bit, have a more grounded story with Momoa as the villain character, now that could be a very interesting and fun movie right there. So we'll see if Momoa does eventually get confirmed, because I believe it's only in talks at this moment. Now to get into our number 8 topic, and that's James Gunn confirms that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be the last time we see that group of Guardians characters together. Now, this is kind of bittersweet news. The sweet part is we're still getting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 directed by James Gunn, and to me, James Gunn is a really great storyteller. So I'm so excited for this movie. It's supposed to come out in May 2023, so we see if it keeps with that release date. But the bitter part is that James Gunn says that we will not be seeing these group of Guardian characters again. So this is really a ending to a trilogy of films here. And so it would be nice to see if this one was great, that it would keep continuing on, but I don't want it to diminish in quality over time. So if we can get a good, strong third entry here, that might be best for the overall set of movies and these characters and actors anyway. So little bittersweet news, but now we know that volume 3 will be the last one to have all these Guardians together. So we gotta really go out and see this movie and get hyped for it. I think it's gonna be a great one. Now into our ninth topic. So we have that Peacock, yes, the universal streaming platform. Some people still haven't heard of Peacock yet, but apparently they have lost a lot of money recently investing into their streaming service. They lost close to $2 billion last year. It is not cheap to run a streaming service. It's basically like starting up a new business. You're going to have to put a lot of money into it and spend a lot of years working on it until it actually makes some good profits. But this is a lot of money to be lost, especially at this point. To me, my prediction here is that Peacock is going to be the first casualty of the streaming wars. We got the streaming wars going on right now, and not all these streaming services can survive, in my opinion. We already got HBO Max, Amazon, Apple, Disney. I mean, just so many services out there, and there's even a few I didn't mention. And I just think Peacock is not putting out the content that people really want to see right now, or they're just not marketing correctly, and they're just not getting an overall interest in their platform. And the sad thing is that the basic Peacock plan is free. Like anybody can go download the app, go watch, content on there with ads, of course, but it is free. And still, a lot of people aren't watching it. So, a lot of people don't even know about that free part of the Peacock service, which is kind of sad. So, yeah, if you can't sell something that's free, you might have some issues there. So, let me know in the comments below. Do you think Peacock is going to be the first casualty of the streaming wars? Or do you think they're going to be able to create some amazing new original content that's going to get viewership up, get more people to go onto their platform? Do you think they can turn it around? Because I do not. But let's have those fun movie discussions down below. So our 10th and most important topic here, our final topic, is talking about Mortal Kombat 2. Yes, Mortal Kombat 2 has got green lit, and so they are now in the development stages of this movie, first working on the script. And who did they get to write the script? Well, they got the writer of the Moon Knight series. Yes, the new Moon Knight series that is going to Disney Plus. That same writer is working on the script for this Mortal Kombat sequel. Now, am I excited about this movie yet? No. I have to see how that Moon Knight series turns out. Now, if I see that there was a lot of good story elements, a lot of great character development, then that's going to get me more hyped for this Mortal Kombat sequel. But right now, my hype level is not there because that last Mortal Kombat movie was so disappointing. And I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. Mortal Kombat is absolutely my favorite franchise of all time. I love all the video games. I like that original 90s Mortal Kombat movie. I thought that one's very underrated, and it's a very fun time. So I was hyped for this last Mortal Kombat movie, but it was just such a big disappointment because the story was awful. The writing was so terrible. Even though they got a few characters right, they got a few power sets right, the fighting choreography and all the action and fatalities were cool enough, but the story overall was just terrible, didn't make a lot of sense, and they did not follow the true Mortal Kombat storylines. So I'm hoping that with this new writer, they're actually going to follow the storylines of this video game franchise, because the story is there. The story is already there with the video games. You just got to take that and now write and adapt it for this new sequel. And I hope this new writer does a great job with this movie, because I want to be excited for this movie, guys. I want to be hyped up for this movie. But right now, because I was so disappointed by the last one, my excitement level is not there yet. But if this Moon Knight series comes out and is absolutely fantastic on Disney Plus, and I know that this writer can do amazing work, well then my hype level is definitely going to go up for this Mortal Kombat sequel. So let me know in the comments below. Are you hyped up for another Mortal Kombat movie? Do you think they should have made a sequel? Or are you still just a little disappointed like me from the last one and your excitement level isn't there yet? And what would get you excited for a new Mortal Kombat movie? Let's have that fun movie discussion down below. Like I said, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan, and I really would like to talk some Mortal Kombat in the comments down below. So that will do it for this week's Mega Movie News Roundup. Let me know in the comments below any comments you have on any of the movie topic discussions we had on this show. We can get a lot of great movie conversations going down below. Also, if you're discovering my channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now. I'm going to get you that movie news weekly content, tons of movie reviews, movie rankings, movie haul, movie unboxing videos. We talk everything movies on this channel, and I don't want you to miss out on any of that entertainment value. So subscribe right now. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss anything since I post often. Also, like the video, and this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.